You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here on the Pace Radio Network's YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook pages. Hello, Tamara. How are you doing tonight?
Well, it's been a day and a half, but I'm doing okay. Al, how are you?
You just can't squeeze enough hours into a day, can they?
Well, they can't. And, if I wouldn't have stayed at work a little longer than I should have and come home to a smashed TV and had to deal with that, and then I got to be back at another meeting because we're doing a pro rodeo in Cranbrook. Wycliffe has a pro rodeo every year, and we've been asked to do the catering for the volunteers and then have the food trailer there as a concession. So we have to go meet with the rodeo. So that's why we're having a short show tonight, guys. It's my fault. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, we're just having a short broadcast tonight, and that's to deal with mainly two things. Okay, we've had a request from a watcher. From a patient in order to learn about infusing foods, and Tamara likes to infuse foods, so we're going to talk about that. And plus tonight we got some giveaways that we're going to give to people. One of them's from some of it's from Dr. Buck, and some of it's from an upcoming event that I'm sure we're going to learn about more in a couple of weeks. That's the Mom's Cup.
Mom Cup. It'll be the third Mom Cup. There was a hiatus for a couple years. May Moon Asia had taken a break from cannabis for a while, and now she's back full force and pulling off a Mom Cup in 2 weeks. So August the 24th, 26th, 27th, and 28th in Hope, BC.
Oh, good. Well, Okay, let's get started first with that request for this patient, and that has to deal with the infusing of cannabis foods.
Right. Well, you and I both infuse a few things. I know you like to do it as well as I do. I actually used to run my own home-based bakery called Kick-Ass Canified, where I infused almost anything. So basically, you can infuse almost any food as long as it has a fat content using either butter or oil or pretty much anything. So as long as you have access to the medicine that you can process or buy the medicine in either a tincture form or a shatter or an oil, you can infuse food. You can infuse anything.
Right. Now, if you're making, for example, the butters or the oils, is like I usually make a coconut oil, the MCT oil, fat content helps with the absorption of the THC and the medicine into
the THC and the CBD and all the trichomes will attach themselves to the protein and the fat content. So what the fat does in the fat content does is actually wrap itself around the cannabis and make it so that it brings it together like this, so it becomes one. So the fat then just basically eats it all up and makes it into a nice fatty infusion. And that's, like I said, anything with any protein base. So you can use olive oil, you can use grapeseed oil, you can use coconut oil, you can use butter, you can actually infuse any type of milk-based lactose product as well.
Yeah.
So these are things, and you can, absolutely use it in meat. You can use it in condiments. You can make ketchups. You can, like I said, pretty much infuse almost anything as long as they've got a fat content to add to it. Now, when you want to,
I just had some infused condiments.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're making butter, for example, my recipe for butter is 70 grams of cannabis for 1 pound of butter. And that's because I find that you can't add that much more cannabis. You lose too much butter. It gets absorbed too much into the cannabis. So 70 grams is the maximum that I have found that you can use, and it doesn't suck up all the butter and you end up with not losing a half a pound.
You can obviously use less, just so the person knows.
Absolutely. You can use 28 grams. You can use whatever you like. I like to use the Power Punch. So why I use 70 grams, because the more trichome that you can get off the leaf or the bud into the butter, the better. So that's why I use 70 grams. You can use whatever you like. It's the length of time, and people have this misconception that they have to leave it soaking for hours and hours and hours. Everybody does have a different method. Everybody does. I'm not saying any
Yes.
method's right or wrong. My method is 45 minutes on a low double boiler on the stove, and then I shock it with ice water. And then I take it back out
Oh,
of
I
it, and
haven't heard of that method yet.
and I do not decarb my cannabis. I don't.
Oh, you
Because
don't?
I tried no. And my logic is you're heating the cannabis in the butter. You're already heating it. So you're activating it as you're heating it in the butter. So why would you want to activate it
If you
prior
get it.
to? You're activating while you're heating, right? And that's the basic thing you have to do to activate is to heat it. So you're already heating
I
it.
guess it depends. Do you get it warm enough in the butter?
Absolutely, because you're leaving it to like you don't boil it. You never want to boil it, but you're sitting at about
Yeah.
170 degrees on a double boiler. So the water underneath is boiling in a stainless bowl.
Mm.
So that bowl is about
Right.
100. I've got a candy thermometer that I use, and that is about 170 degrees with your butter. You don't want to get your butter any warmer than that because then you're wrecking it, right? So 45 minutes, 170 degrees. I use my anyway, and then I shock it with ice water, and then instantly, right? So what that does is
Now,
it brings the sludge.
how are you shocking it with ice? How are you shocking with ice water?
Water, jug, ice. Pour into the butter in the bowl.
Oh, you pour the water right into the butter.
Yeah, pour the water right
Oh.
into the butter. I'll tell you what, okay? Because then all the sludge and all the leaf matter, because the oil and the cannabis and the butter float to the top. So you have this puck of butter with all the sludge and the
On top.
cannabis on the bottom. So then you pop it off. But again, this is you have to strain the cannabis off first. So I missed a
Yeah,
step. You strain the cannabis.
I've done it with
You strain the
I've
butter,
done it with water
you do your
and
strain first, right? You strain the cannabis off the butter, you squeeze it through your cheesecloth, and then you just have your liquid. And then you add your ice water to it. But then any sludge or any green that's left in that, okay, comes to the bottom. You can cut that all off and skim it all off. Then I heat it again on the stove. Just long enough till it gets liquidy warm and warm enough to about 100 degrees on my candy thermometer. And then I shock it again.
Oh, now you're shocking the candy, or are you shocking
Nope, the butter.
the
The
butter?
butter. The butter. After I've
So
heated
you're
it
shocking
again,
it twice.
I warm it and I shock it twice and I skim all the grossness off. And my butter's not black or dark green. It's a nice golden colored butter.
Nice golden color, and that's what you want, yeah.
So
Yeah.
because it takes a lot of the lactose out too, because but this is making a ghee more than a butter, right? Because of my colitis, I can't eat dairy. So with the shocking of it, what it does is it breaks down that lactose and pulls that out too, so I can actually not get sick.
Oh, yeah. See, I wasn't doing any of that stuff, and I found for myself that I switched to the coconut oil from the butter.
Because the butter would hurt your Crohn's disease because you're
Yeah,
eating too much lactose, and it's the dairy product, right? So why you shock it? Then it becomes a ghee, and it takes all that out, and it becomes a really effective medicine. So that's why I do that.
Oh,
And there's a lot of hit and misses, Al. Believe me, I've done so much experimenting with glycerin and butters and making candies and gummies and all the things. Again, like I used to make a pan of Texas brownies. It was 1 full pound of butter because there was a pound in the brownie mixture and a pound in the icing. 75 pieces in a thing. Those were at least 1,000 milligrams each for one little square. They would knock you on your ass. But again, it all depends too on the quality of your cannabis. If you've got shitty cannabis, you're not going to get good quality edibles. And a result, just use your shake and your leaf and your go ahead and use your shake and your leaf and you're going to get garbage. And we've learned that over the years that to produce good extracts, you have to use the bud. And yes, and then your bud's garbage. The trichome is actually the medicine on that plant. That's the stuff that you need. The plant matter itself, yeah, you know what I mean? It's those nice little shiny crystals all over that make hash and make the medicine. That's
those trichomes.
Right? So why a lot of people now will use shatter or use oil. So even now when I make my candies, I used to process it all in one. I used to be really dangerous and put the oil mixture Everclear in with the sugar and mix it all together on the stove. And then I realized how
No.
dangerous that was. And
Yeah.
then, so now I process, of course, the shatter first or the oil first, or buy it or get it or acquire it. And I add that directly to my candy. So depending on the milligrams you want, it's usually 1 gram per 10 milligrams, right? So if you want a 50 milligram candy, because I make in batches of 100, you have 5 grams of cannabis extract. Usually shatter or keef or oil or whatever I can get my hands on, as long as it's good quality. And that's what I use in my candy.
Yeah. Well, do you
Chocolate,
want to
same thing.
quickly review that method? And then I'll give my quick explanation on how I make mine.
Which one? The butter?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I take 70 grams of cannabis to 1 pound of butter, and then I warm it on the stove in a double boiler at 170 degrees, because I use a candy thermometer to go in, for about 45 minutes. Then I strain the cannabis off, squeeze it through, a cheesecloth, make sure you have all your liquid butter, and then I shock it with ice water. Then I put it back in the stainless steel above the, pot boiling. That puck, because you'll have a puck, because you put it in the fridge too. You shock it, then you put it in the fridge, let it solidify, and then there'll be a green or red, a bunch of sludge on the bottom. You just scrape that off, because that's the leftover leaf matter and stuff that you don't want. And then I reheat it again. And then once it's about 100 degrees on my candy thermometer, so it's nice warm, but we're, that about 100. Not, you never want to boil it. And then I again shock it with ice water, throw it in the fridge. And then I scrape all the grossness off, and voila. And it's a nice golden colored butter. And it's, depending on the cannabis quality, it's usually kick you in the ass. Yeah.
Kick you in the ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the way I do mine isn't as complicated. I'm like, wow, you got all that stuff you do. Yeah, I just throw my my cannabis, an ounce, which I clean up any sticks or anything off of it, and I throw mine in a magic butter machine,
Oh, well.
and then
Yeah.
yeah. And then I put in my required amount of coconut oil, which I believe is 2 cups of the coconut oil, and then
That's
I
cheating.
just put the lid. I put the
That's
lid
cheating.
on and I hit the button.
That's cheating, Al.
Now, yeah, in the early days, yes, I took
But
the
people that
cannabis
sit and
and the
they
butter
put
and
it in a crock pot and they let it sit for
I
48
put it in the
hours. And
yeah.
oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I put it in the crock pot for 48 hours. And in the wintertime, I would throw it in a Tupperware container and throw it outside because of the smell. See, with the magic butter machine, I find that there's less odor, but you do open it up. But with the crock pot, it's just steaming all day, right? And it can
But if you
smell.
if you
So
let it if
yeah.
you let it and the magic butter machine doesn't take 48 hours either. It's fairly quick for any of the rest.
No, but I have done it. Yeah, I've done it like for 8, like, because you got an 8-hour button on the machine. I've done it for 8 hours and then let it sit for a couple hours and then done another 8 hours and done it that way. But it's the
green.
longer you do
So
it, the
all
more
you're
you
doing
break
is
down
you're
the plant
sucking all the
material.
chlorophyll. Yeah, that's all you're doing is sucking
Exactly.
all
Yeah.
the chlorophyll.
Yeah. So I don't
And
do
I tried
that.
to
I don't do
explain
that
that to people,
anymore.
right?
I don't do
Green
that.
butter,
Yeah.
if it's the greener it is, it doesn't mean it's better. That means it's been sitting way too
Correct.
long and they've sucked off all the chlorophyll and all the plant matter into that butter. And if you go to any
Chlorophyll can be good
internal,
for you.
not for us
Some.
with colitis and Crohn's disease, green plant matter, you know what it does to me? It makes me like, I can't do
Yeah.
it. So
Right.
anything that's green is an absolute no for me. I have a hard time even eating romaine lettuce anymore. It runs right through me.
Oh,
And I
really?
love
Yeah, I can eat
salads.
lettuce.
I can
Yeah, I
eat
can eat
spinach.
lettuce.
I can eat spinach, but I can't even eat avocados
Yeah.
anymore. They make me sick. And avocado
Oh,
is one of my
that's too
most
bad.
favorite things. And I can't eat them anymore.
Yeah. Okay, from infusing foods. The next things that we've got to cover before you leave for your
I have to
meeting.
run away. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I no
I
problem.
know.
I know it's bad timing.
This isn't even pierogi stuff. This is like work stuff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, what I've got here in my hand is a container of Dr. Buck's. Yeah, let's get this.
There you go.
Dr. Buck.
Dr. Buck
Yeah.
salve.
Yeah.
Scott does a
Hand
good job. Yeah.
and hoof salve. And it's for sore muscles and joints. And you
And
can
just to
see down
recap,
there.
that was the garden that we showed you guys last week when Al was
Correct.
at the garden. That salve is made out of that garden that you seen last week.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
he made it with a CBD strain. And you see here, it's got no, it even says no THCs. It's just a CBD variety. He's got this one here. He's even got on the back, okay,
Oh, it's got a QR code.
he's got the ingredients, okay, and he's got a QR code. And that QR code goes to the test results. So if you want to know what the test results of what this product was like, all you have to do is put your phone on there and it'll pull up the website and bang, you got the test results. Not hide nothing. It's all there
That's
for everybody to
amazing.
see. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, he's got a great little idea going on there. He's got a good little Airbnb. He's good. That's good.
Well,
I'm
he
happy
told
for
us
him.
to come back. He told us to come back and broadcast from there again in a couple of weeks. And
Yeah,
I'll be just I was there yesterday giving him a handout in the
I've
garden.
seen that. That's great, Al. Well, it's
And
nice that you're
he's
close enough that you can do that. Like now that you got,
yeah,
you got a neighbor, you can go and you guys can hang out and share tips and ideas, and it's always
yeah.
nice to have someone like that, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's like 20 minutes away.
yeah, that's
And
great.
I saw that he was working on the railing for the balcony for the deck because that's too high. It's much more than 2 feet. So he has to put a railing up. So he's in the process of doing that right now for the B&B. And so I was out giving him a hand, trimming up some plants and doing some manicuring. And we talked about that during the broadcast as well because he hasn't been able to get to it. So we've got 4 of these to give away tonight. All right.
Awesome.
And all you got to do, it's really easy. Okay. All you have to do is just go to the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page. Okay. That's one of where this is being broadcasted at. So I'm going to the main page, Pace Radio Network page. And on there, all you have to do is comment, I need Dr. Buck topicals. Something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly. Okay, you don't have to quote that, but I just need Dr. Buck's medicine or whatever, something along that line. And the first 4 people that do that, whether it doesn't have to be live, it can be done after the show. If you see this, down the road here in 2 days or whatever, feel free. If you look at the page and it's not there, 4 people haven't put your name on there yet, put your name and a friend's name, and we'll get a hold of you and we'll get
a
these
hold
sent
of
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
He even gave me the packaging for to mail it away.
Well,
I've
that's
got that.
great. How nice of him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you got some
Exactly.
sirens.
Uh-oh.
They're coming for me.
They're coming for you.
They're coming for me, man. It's me.
Exactly. Okay, so now
I tell you, I was wearing this shirt at work today, right? And everybody goes, "What does that mean? What does polite stand for?" My polite shirt. And I always have to explain to them because I can't wear cannabis shirts at work, but I can wear this cannabis shirt at work because it's a cannabis activism shirt from Australia. So I wear it to work all the time. When people ask me what it means, I very well sit down and tell them all about it.
I'm sure you do, eh? Well, shirts are like sidewalk boards. They're advertising, their promotion, and they become conversation pieces. Whether you're standing in line at the grocery store, at the gas station paying a bill, somebody sees something interesting on a shirt, they're going to ask about it.
Yeah, but I don't actively wear my pot leaves. I don't wear my pace shirt. I try and be respectful that I work in a public place. And even though my boss is fairly cool, she's not a consumer. She's not part of our community. So, I'm not going to push my luck. So, but this one, I wear all the time.
Where, it doesn't say cannabis on it.
Nowhere. But when people ask me what it means, I tell them it's a cannabis activism shirt from Australia.
It's like my shirt. My shirt is a Champs Canada shirt.
Right?
They held the first.
Yeah, the cannabis brand. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a cannabis leaf on the shirt anywhere.
No.
Other than the fact it's got the little hemp logo because it's 50% hemp.
Yep. Exactly. And you know what? Hemp clothing are the best. And this is hemp too. This shirt's hemp too from Australia. I've had this thing for 3-4 years. It's not even showing anywhere. It's just the best, right? I got 2 of them. I love them. Yeah. but they're made
Oh,
from
yeah.
hemp too. Yeah. Okay, so now we got a couple giveaways for Mum Cup. And what we got to give away today for Mum Cup, this is from 420 Maps, a sponsor of Mum Cup. We got some magic
What it?
mushrooms.
Nice. Just so you
420
know, you
Maps.
froze there. You froze there. Say that again. What is it?
420 Maps, and we got some magic mushrooms.
Magic mushrooms. Oh,
So
what is
420
this?
Maps are a sponsor of Mum Cup this year, which is being held in Hope, BC on the 26th, 27th, I think. Yeah, 26th, 27th of August. So tickets are available through Asia Maymoon if you want to get a hold of her or me. I will direct you how to get tickets if you're going to be in that area. I also have a second giveaway. Oh, are you going to tell them how to get this off?
Well, you can do them both at the same time because it's very similar, right?
Okay, yeah. And then we have some papers and a lighter, just random. And this is some chatter from an anonymous, not true, contributor to the Mum Cup as well. So we'll send you out this as a package. You get some papers and a lighter and some shatter. Not sure what it's sealed, but I know it's shatter.
It's
so,
shatter.
Yeah, and it's an anonymous. I think it's shatter or butter wax, something along those lines. So
Along that line, yeah. Concentrate.
extract.
For sure.
Yes. Yes.
Extract. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Exactly.
So this and this. So
right,
I think you don't have to be watching live tonight, but you have now I'm throwing stuff around. You pick a number between 1 and 420 and your name. And I have a number in my head that I've given to Al for both of them. There's 2 separate numbers, one number for this one and one number for the magic mushrooms that I just threw on the floor. I'm not going to bend down and pick them up because they're behind the chair.
Where are they going to post these numbers?
On the same page, our Pace radio page, underneath this broadcast. So all of these have to be underneath this live, like it doesn't have to be live, but underneath this broadcast in the comments.
We're broadcasting in like 6 locations right now.
Right. So it's going to be on the Pace radio Facebook page, our network page. We're not going to have it on whatever Green Irene's and whoever else's page is that it's going out on, which is terrific. We really appreciate the YouTube, and we really appreciate it. But our main
becomes in order to be able to keep it, who is, the orders, all that time-wise, going through all those different pages. It's just easier to go to the one location, Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, where we broadcast all of our shows. And go there and give a number between 1 and 420. And there's a good chance that you could, win one of both of those prizes.
And I've given Al the numbers that were in my head, so he knows the numbers that we picked. So we're both on. So if he sees it before I do, he'll let you know, and he'll let me know, and then I'll mail it to you.
Yes.
I'll get in touch with you. And we'll get these out to you. It doesn't matter. Anywhere in Canada. Can't do it anywhere else. Sorry about that, but anywhere within Canada, we can actually mail these to you. Outside of Canada, we're sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Good thing you said that. In Canada, please.
In Canada.
Now, if someone has a question about your infusion, can they just reach out to you?
Absolutely. You can get a hold of me on my own Facebook page through Cannabis and Coffee with Tamara. I'm an editor on this page, on the Pace page. So if you send a message to our Pace network, I'll get it too, or I will pass it on. So I'm pretty reachable. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now there's one thing before you go that we're going to mention. Okay, earlier today I got a message from a past guest of ours who held a 422 gathering.
Oh, right, gathering. Yeah, I remember that.
Down in Windsor. Exactly, down in Windsor there. Yes. So he sent me a message and said he's doing it again. He's holding another event. So I said to him that we can give you a little promo. I'll share it out. And, today we'll use it to let people know. But it's called the Hot Box, the Great Canadian Hot Box event, and it's being held at 1026 Drullard Road in Windsor, which is the same location as the last event they held for 422. As you can see here on the page, Alex is the event organizer. It's going to be held in Windsor. He says it's going to be Canada's biggest cannabis legalization hot box. It's on August the 20th during the Drollard Street Festival for a party like no other. We're hotboxing a shipping container.
Woo-hoo! That sounds like a blast.
A shipping container. So there you go. Yeah.
That's
Never
terrific.
thought about it. Yeah. And this is I would look at this because as I read on, okay, he says here that outdoor consumption party goes from noon to 5, and we'll have volcanoes, dab rigs, and other fun accessories on site and ready to go.
It's a vape lounge.
It's a vape lounge on the street in the.
That's excellent. I love it. I love it. That's the best. You know what? We're gonna get these vape lounges. Loretta's still like. Shout out to Loretta because she's battling COVID right now. I know she probably kicked my ass for saying anything. Our friend Loretta has COVID right now. And she's also working at a licensed production site in Montreal, and she's doing really well. And she's still battling out for those lounges. So this will be great news for Loretta. She'll love to hear that. Yeah. So shout out to my girl.
There's also will be pre-roll giveaways from Vertical, Sitka, Sunflower, and more, he says here. The hot box is at 420 sharp.
Right.
Address 1026 Drollard, same place as the 422. So the hot box is at 420 sharp. So that pretty well tells me that whoever said they're all just going to gather inside this big shipping container and just hot box the place.
Yeah.
Whoever's in.
Right? And who's going to stop them? What's illegal about that? It's people consuming cannabis indoors. You're not outdoors. You're not breaking any laws.
Not breaking any laws unless the
there's no smoking. There's no smoking in the container. I didn't see a no smoking sign last time I looked.
It's not a residence or a business or anything.
It's nothing. It's a fucking tin can. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a steel tin can is all it is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
I gotta go. I gotta go check out this rodeo.
Yes, exactly. You
okay,
gotta
thanks
go.
everyone, and we'll see you next week. I'll be back next week.
We're back next week. We're going to be talking about joints next week, and don't forget, everybody, catch the reefer reporters tomorrow morning. Glenn and myself, and thanks for everybody for tuning in. Don't forget about the prizes. If you have to rewatch the program, learn how you can get involved in these. And other than that, thanks to our sponsors, Legacy 420, BMA, Hydroponics.com, Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, and of course, Dr. Buck, CTS.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning in. Until next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.